Blimey, that ended quick, didn't it? Hey up, it's Stephen, that old Yorkshire geek. Welcome to episode 106 of That Old Yorkshire Geek's Friday night appointment with fear. And this week we're doing Dagon, H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. There it is on DVD, although we're going to be watching the Blu-ray rip. But a pretty good film. I did enjoy watching this, and it's not long either. It's, to be completely honest, I think this is the most faithful, although it's not faithful really to the stories that it's based on so much, but it's the most Lovecraft film I've seen. Even the direct Lovecraft what's its face adaptations are not really great adaptations. But anyway, so that's what we're doing tonight, Dagon. Starring lots of people we've never heard of. I've read Lovecraft. I've not read all of his stuff. I've read Shadow over Innsmouth, or Innsmouth, I don't know how you pronounce it, which is mostly what this film is based on. I've got it in my Kindle. Look, H.P. Lovecraft. What does it say? Complete collection. There we go, on Kindle, and that it wasn't expensive either. So anyway, right, let's get rid of that. Save me battery. Anyway, Wingrace says, hair's out, scares out. Yes, I've got my hair out because I have bathed. I have bathed. I was going to tie it back. I was going to get my bobble out and tie it back, but I thought, sod it. Let's have the hair out. Right, so, make me look like Cthulhu with tentacles. I'm as old as Cthulhu, nearly. Anyway. Right, so before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Right, we're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble if it sorts itself out. Let's have a look. Yes, we're live on Rumble. And we're live on Twitch as well. Huzzah! A bit of a warning, I might get a bit yawny. I'm really tired. I've had to, wash my eyes time and time again. I don't know why I'm so tired today. I don't know. I had a good night's sleep last night. Maybe that's the reason. But anyway. So, right, the film Dagon, off we go. From 2001, directed by Stuart Gordon of Reanimator fame and From Beyond and those films. Written by Dennis Paoli, who I've never heard of. Don't know what else he's done. What else has he done? He did Reanimator and From Beyond. Oh, there we go. Loosely based on H.P. Lovecraft's stories, The Shadow over Innsmouth and Dagon. What had a budget of, I think, about $4.5 million. It's a Spanish film, Spanish production, but it is in English. But there's a lot of Spanish speaking in it. With no subtitles. Well, there is subtitles, but they're in Spanish, and there's nothing on. I checked on the disc as well, on the DVD. They don't tell you what they're saying in Spanish. You've got to guess what they're saying. Anyway, what else was I saying? Can't remember. It stars Ezra Godden, Francisco Rabal. His last film. He died, I think. Well, it must have died before it was released because there's an end card at the end saying, in memory of Francisco Rabal. Raquel Merono and somebody else, hang on, Macarena Gomez. So there we go. And Brendan Price and Birgit Bofferul. Lots of Spanish people in this because it was filmed in Spain, probably with Spanish money, I imagine. Anyway, so, right, I don't think it did particularly well at the box office. What was its box office? Not a lot. Where are we? 212,000 euros in Spain. I don't know what it did worldwide. It doesn't tell us. So, but it's not got bad reviews, to be completely honest. I'd say 70%-ish reviews, 6 out of 10 and stuff like that. I think it's a good film, but anyway. Right, anyway, so, is that it? Later on I'll upload it to Spotify and Amazon Music podcasts and all that stuff. If you want to explore the description, you'll find links for Facebook, X and Instagram and links for my Patreon page where you'll get like exclusive stuff and early access stuff, and merch, which I'm not wearing any apart from my cap, but this particular cap isn't available in the merch store because I made it myself. It's just a black cap with a patch on, a TOYG patch, and these I've only got these, and they're not available. So if you're nice to me, I might send you one. But I know Wingrace has got one. Anyway, right. What else? Is that it? Oh, members, become a member, because I think we're on members only chat today. I think we are. Yes, we're on members only chat. So if you remember, you can join in the live chat. Right. So is that it? Shall we get on with it? Yes, we will. We'll get on with the film. I will make myself titch tiny in the corner of the screen, and we'll get on with the film as usual. Not just be watching the film, because YouTube would throw a fit. We'll be... What am I doing here? We'll watch it as a series of stills. And I'll try and remember the trivia I've read about it. I do have some notes. Shall we start some notes? For instance, right, I told you about the budget, 4.8 million, so just under $5 million budget. Oh, pardon me, I'm burping. Right, Dagon. Dagon appears in the Judeo-Christian Bible, apparently. I don't remember reading about Dagon, but anyway, never mind. And is the name of a half-fish, half-man deity who is the father of Baal. Dagon was worshipped by the Assyrians in Nineveh, whom the prophet Jonah was sent to preach to. So basically, Dagon is an Anunnaki. I bet he came out of the sea and said, "What fate, Amaroka," and stuff like that. Wingrace knows what I'm on about. Right, anyway, so off we go. So that's a bit of trivia. Right, where are we? There. Okie dokie, let's get on with it. Let us begin. There, titles. By the way, speaking of titles, as in bocce. Yes, I speak bocce, by the way. It's like a second language to me. I know you're on about Jack. Right, anyway, off we go. Speaking of titles, when they come on, you might notice they look a bit familiar if you're into a certain TV show. Let's see if anybody guesses what it reminds. It reminds me of them anyway. Right, here we go. There you go. What does that font remind you of? It reminds me, I'll give you a minute. It reminds me of Sequest DSV. Is that the same font as Sequest DSV? If not, it's very similar. I didn't think to check. I'll have a look and look at Sequest DSV titles. Right, look at images. No, it's nothing like What does it remind me of then? What does it remind me of? I've seen that text in that way and in something else, and it's not Sequest. I thought it was Sequest. I'll show you the Sequest ones. Oh dear. There we go. That's the Sequest font. Let's combine it any small. I thought it was the same. I've seen it somewhere else, and I can't think where. That font. See, Wingrace says Legend of the Seeker. I've never seen that, so I don't know. He says he's just guessing. So we'll have a look at that as well. We'll try and find that then. Legend of the Seeker. I'll put logo. See if that. No, that just looks like regular writing. But it's in gold. I've seen it somewhere and I can't think where now. Anyway, tell us in the chat or put it in the comments if you recognise that font. It does look really familiar and I can't think where I've seen it. Anyway, there we go. H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. As I said, I think this is the best Lovecraft feeling film I've seen. I mean, there's a few Lovecraft-based films. Some of them directly inspired by Lovecraft. Some of them a bit vaguely inspired. Stuff like I'm blanking because I've turned the camera on. Oh God. That film with Dean Stockwell in it. We're in the 60s. That was a good film, but it didn't really have the same impact as the Lovecraft book. I forgot what they bloody call it now. Whatever. And the thing is basically at the Mountains of Madness, sort of, but without the giant penguins and Ticka-lily, and all that stuff. Anyway, off we go. We'll carry on with the film. By the way, there's a bit of nudity in this, so I'm going to have to be careful. Sometimes I edit out the nips, but I didn't in this case, so I'm going to have to be quick. If some nips appear on screen, I'm going to have to be quick. Right, we begin. We're under the sea. No, we are, but we're getting the titles. Right. We're under the sea with this chap with a scuba diving thing. I won't be able to go scuba diving. I won't be able to breathe. Even though I'm breathing, I'd be like gipping without having that thing in my mouth. But anyway. Right, so we see this is the star of the film, Ezra Godden, or whatever the hell he's called. What else has he been in? He hasn't even got a Wikipedia link. It's Ezra Godden. And apparently this is his movie debut. Let's have a look on IMDb. What else has he been in? What else has he been in? He's known for Dagon, Future Self, oh, excuse me, and Dragon Age Origins. Oh, that's a voice for a video game. We're in Band of Brothers. Oh, right, cool. In 4 episodes. Oh, there you go. It does a lot of voice work, for games and stuff. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. At least he's employed. Right, anyway, where were we? Right, he's swimming, and he sees this under the sea, some sort of ancient structure under the sea, because it's Lovecraft, and it's probably been there for millions of years and all that stuff. So down he goes. So he's checking it out. And still got the bloody titles, I forgot. So in he goes, there we go, swimming in, you can see him there, look. The CG in this, there's some, there's practical effects, for the monsters and stuff, and tentacles and things. Pretty good practical effects, makeup effects and all that. And there's some CG in it, which is not quite as good. But it's fine if you take into account the budget and stuff. They didn't have a huge amount of money. I mean, $5 million sounds like a lot, but it's not. But when you're making a film, and this bit, it shows this kind of scene a couple of times in this, and for some reason, it reminds me of Clash of the Titans. When Poseidon's going to release the Kraken, and he goes and pulls on that lever. It reminds me of that for some reason. But anyway. Right, so here we go. There's some deep pit under the ocean. Anyway, he finds gold. He brushes away this muck. There he was doing it there. Look, it will be in a minute. And he finds gold. Hang on. Just a minute. There it is. There he goes. And he brushes away the muck, and he sees gold. He's like, ooh, gold. But then somebody appears. Here she is. This is... I forgot the name. Uxia. I think she's called Uxia. Let me just check. Yes, Uxia Cambaro, played by Macarena Gomez. We'll see her again. But he's been having dreams about her. Spoilers, this is a dream sequence. He's been having dreams about her as our hero, Paul Marsh. Anyway, so there she is. She's there under the water. And it turns out she's a mermaid in his dream. Let's be careful here because we see some boobage. I could have missed it. So she's a mermaid, look, but then she turns into a hideous monster with teeth. Look, she goes up to him, though she's going to kiss him. There he goes, takes his there we go, and goes, ah! And then he wakes up. Ah! Ooh, he wakes up. Anyway, this is Paul Marsh, who is a .com millionaire, newly turned .com millionaire. So I don't know what he does. Don't know what his .com was, but he's rich now, and this is his. I don't know if it's his wife or just his girlfriend. I don't know. She's called Barbara, played by, I'll tell you in a minute, Raquel Meroño. Apparently, he's a big TV star in Spain. Apparently, they like getting TV stars in films, in Spanish films, don't they? They did it in Rec, didn't they? Rec and Rec 2 and Rec 4. I can't remember her name. Her that plays Angela. She was a big TV star as well in Spain. Anyway, she's Barbara. So He says another nightmare, and he says no, the same one. He don't tell. He don't tell her. I don't know if he tells her what they're about, but anyway, so she starts to. He's obviously troubled by his nightmares, and he's not happy about becoming a .com millionaire for some reason. There's something gnawing at him, but anyway, she's going to be gnawing at him in a minute, but he kind of ruins the mood, and he says, I'm not bothered about it, because she mentions about being rich. He says, I'm not bothered about it, and then it puts her off, and he says, oh no, not about that, that's great, but the mood has gone. Anyway, it turns out they're on a boat owned by their friend Howard. And he said owned then, didn't he? Owned by their friend Howard. Owned by their friend Howard and his wife Vicky. And they just happened to be off the coast of Spain. Right. For some reason, I don't know why, they just are. And it's very fortuitous that they're where they are. I don't know if it were Paul's idea to go to this particular place or if it's Howard's, because it's not their boat, it's Howard's boat. But anyway, there's a John Grisham fan. I've never read John Grisham. I've probably seen a film or two based on his books. I don't know. But anyway, instead of having sex, he's going to go on his computer to check the stocks, the value of his stocks. And he's got a little catchphrase that he says several times in the film, where it says there's two options, or two, what's the word? How does he say it? Where are we? That's two alternatives or something like that. I forgot the two possibilities. That's it. I went through all the bloody lexicon of things, didn't I? Options, alternatives, the two possibilities. And then he says, he gives the two possibilities, and he says that several times in the film until the end. Spoilers. And he's got no choice. Anyway, she's fed up. She said, get off that thing. And she grabs his computer and throws it overboard. There you go. And so she says, now the stock is underwater. He says, are you crazy? By the way, that was Vicky, by the way. There she is. That's Vicky sunbathing. Anyway, so this is where we see, she's saying, you've got to try and forget about, you're rich now, don't stop worrying about everything. Anyway, a storm's brewing. By the way, they hear this weird chanting, by the way, drifting over the water. It's coming from that village, which is the village of, why can I not remember? I've got it in my bloody notes as well. Imboca, that's it, the village of Imboca, which is kind of a Spanish translation to Innsmouth-ish, sort of. But, so there we go. So it's the Spanish village of Imboca, which, okay, I'm going to say spoilers, just happens to be where Paul were born, but he doesn't know that yet, so I'm spoiling it for him as well. Anyway, so they hear this, chanting coming from there, and they say, oh, there must be some sort of festival or something going on. But then this is Howard. I don't know who he is, by the way. It's just their friend. It's obviously another a rich friend of theirs, and it's his boat. But we don't know much about him. And spoilers, I'm going to say that a lot. It comes to a sticky end. Anyway, he notices there's a storm brewing. There we go. We've got a storm coming, he says. So they've got to batten down the hatches. I would say the storm's coming, would you? The thing's coming right at us. So he gets the weighs anchor, or whatever the phrase is, and they're going to head away from it. I don't know. I don't know the seafaring rules. You think they'd try and find port, wouldn't you? You think they'd head to the village. Maybe that's what they're trying to do, I don't know. And get into the harbour or whatever, or the dock, and tie up. But anyway, they set off, and but the sea becomes all choppy, and they end up being dashed on the rocks, or running aground on the rocks. Oh, by the way, Vicky went below to freshen up, she said. So she's sitting there in a towel. But then they hit the rocks, there we go. And she gets her leg trapped with this rock that's come through the hull of the boat. Anyway, everybody else is fine. They go down to check on her. They see that she's not doing well. So they decide to go and get help from the village, which is just 100 yards or so. So and he says a weird thing here. Hang on, where are we? Or maybe he's not said it yet. It says we'll take the. I'm sure he says we'll take the raft. I thought, what are you talking about? As you'll see, it's not a raft; it's a bloody dinghy. But anyway, radio for help. Okay, take this and go signal the shore. Yes, and nothing happens. I don't think. I don't think nobody's. There's nobody there. And there's nobody on the to see their signal. So they've got to go there. And is it this bit where he says we've got to take the raft into that town for help? It's not a raft. It's a bloody dinghy. But anyway, so they decide that Paul and Barbara are going to go, and Howard will stay with Vicky and look after her. So that's what's happening, right? So off they go. By the way, oh yes, Vicky's blood is mingling with the water. We're going to get a bit more bad CG in a minute. There we go. There's the boat on it. I mean, look, it looks poo, doesn't it? Cut it a break. Her blood's going into the water in a very steady stream for some weird reason, but it's there for a reason, isn't it? It's going to draw something up out of the depths. Anyway, off they go, heading for the shore. Oh, look, lightning. Does that a lot in this film, by the way. Just white screen to simulate lightning. Because it is a dark and stormy night for pretty much all this film. There was saying it again, look. 2 possibilities and all that stuff. Anyway, the dinghy... Oh, they're not being well. She feels something under the water. Because she'd asked earlier as well. She said, are we going to die? And he says, no, we're not going to die. We're survivors. And then she goes, there's something in the water. And then he gets a gun out. By the way, we also see in the water, we see the red of Vicky's blood, but we also see it's got like this oily, slimy stuff in the water as well. He's got a little pea shooter there that he's going to start shooting at stuff. They hear the shots, the gunshots, and... says, what they're shooting at? And he says, please don't let it be sharks. And so she suggests that they go back to the boat. And she says, well, they've sprung a leak, by the way. I don't know what happened, but they've sprung a leak. Did something attack them, from under the water? Or did they just, as somebody said, must have hit a rock or whatever? I don't know, but anyway, they decide to carry on to the shore. They ditch the motor because the motor packs in as well. And they start rowing. So, right, they head to the shore. It's a cool little village. It was filmed, I'll tell you, in Combaro, in Galicia, in Spain. Also, some filming in Barcelona as well. I've been to Barcelona, sort of. I went on a holiday to Spain, and the airport was in Barcelona. And then we got on a bus for ages to get to the resort. But anyway. Calais was the name of the resort. Anyway, right. Where were we? There's nobody about. That's cool architecture. It's cool architecture, isn't it? But anyway, there's a couple of seagulls there, so it's not entirely devoid of life. Anyway, they make it to shore, thankfully, and they see a little boat there, but there's nobody about. So they go looking for any signs of life, and there seems to be nobody about. This deserted town, but we'll see it's not deserted. Pretty soon. Anyway, they head to the church. There we go. They see the church, and they notice that it doesn't have a cross or whatever on it, and it says on it. Is it going to show us? Hang on. There we go. That symbol there, and it gives him like a flashback to his dream, and he also sees. Hang on, where are we? Where does it say? There we go. Esoterica Orde de Dagon. Oh, that was the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So there you go. Oh, that's one of his flashback to his dream that he has with Uxia in it. Anyway, they go up to the church and they can hear the chanting, by the way, coming from the church. I think it's like a Cthulhu chant. They say it a couple of times in this. Cthulhu Fnach. That weird, that weird Lovecraftian language that I think he just went on his typewriter. Anyway, right, they get into the church. There's nobody there. Ooh, what were happening? Where were all that chanting coming from? We don't know. So they have a look around. And but then the priest appears. There he is. Does he have a name? I don't know. Let's check. Does he have a name? Possibly. But it's all in Spanish, so I don't know. Oh, no. I have no idea. Lots of names, but they're all in Spanish, so I don't know. Let's have a look on Wikipedia, see if that's any help. Priest. Ferran Lahoz as priest. Fair enough. No, he doesn't have a name there. Right, so she's talking to him in Spanish. As I said, there's lots of telling us what they're saying in Spanish. Nuestro bajo choco. So she wants some chocolate. I don't know. But it's not telling us what they're saying in English. I'm guessing we're supposed to be Paul, and he doesn't speak Spanish. So, but she does. Because he said at the beginning that his mother was Spanish, and she left Spain years ago, and she wouldn't even let him learn Spanish. You think if he wanted to learn it, he'd learn it, wouldn't he? But anyway, whatever. And we're supposed to be seeing it from his point of view, so that's why we don't see subtitles for the Spanish language parts. So anyway, he agrees to help them, but we can see he's a bit pale and pasty, and we can see there's something not quite right, and we see that with pretty much everybody in Innsmouth. Not Innsmouth. Oh, excuse me. I can never remember the name of this bloody village. Imboca. That's it. Why can I never remember it? I keep thinking of the Broca Divide, Wingrace. You know, that episode of Stargate. That keeps popping in my head. Imboca. Everybody in Imboca is a bit weird, or a lot weird. But anyway, which is how it is in the book Shadow over Innsmouth. Which I've read but for a long time ago. I can't really remember a lot about it, but it's you get the protagonist in that's set on a dark and stormy night as well, from what I remember, and the main protagonist just gets weird fleeting glimpses of the inhabitants of Innsmouth, however it's pronounced, and see that they're not quite right, but we get that in this as well. Right, so he agrees to help them. So they go down to the dock or whatever, and suddenly there's people there on the boat. A couple of blokes on this boat. So they agree to take him out to the stricken boat. He was pointing at it. You can see he looks a bit pasty. His eyes are weird, and he might not blink. But now I've said that, I'll probably freeze it on the bit where he's blinking. But anyway. So, right, they get on this boat. They don't look well, do they? So they're all covered up and stuff like that. They're all very pale. Right, so he's going to go on the boat, and she's going to go to the police. She's going to phone the police. That's what she's asking the priest or whatever. So that's what's going to happen. And he's saying, I don't want you to go with that man. He gives me the creeps. And then the priest says, I'll help the señorita. So obviously he understands English. Anyway, now we're doing this two possibilities thing again. Anyway, off he goes. He jumps on the boat and immediately cuts himself on a on a fish hook, which he just pulls out, and then he starts bleeding. But then he don't show it again for the rest. So I don't know why. It's just there just to make you cringe, I suppose. Right, so off he goes. Right, and the priest tells her to go to the hotel. There's a telephone at the hotel, because she's got a cell phone, or a mobile phone as we call them here, but no signal. So anyway, so he tells her to go to the hotel. Hotel Del Mar. So off she goes. Oh my, yes, and then she notices, he points, in a minute, he points and we see, there we go, he's got webbed hands, webbed fingers. I'm going to show it again, there we go. Because he must be that baddie off James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me. what's his bloody name now? Stromberg off that James Bond film. Anyway, right, so off she goes through the town. Now we start seeing some of the locals now. For some reason, they've decided to start popping up now. But they're all not quite right. And we hear these weird noises, like, they use like marine animal noises. So we hear like dolphin clicking and squeaking and like seal type sounds and stuff like that. You know, we keep hearing these sounds in the town, and there's a reason for it. There is a reason. Anyway, so she, like I said, she keeps getting glimpses of these weird people in town. She goes past this fella. Oh, wow, she sees another one here. But there you go. Oh, just landed on that. That's a blink and you'll miss it person there. She just zooms by. But as you can see, she's got like fish eyes. And anyway, she finds the hotel and in she goes. There go lightning. Oh wow, she runs like a big girl, by the way. I'm watching this, I think this is probably how I run. Anyway, in she goes. There's the manager, Manuel from Fawlty Towers. Oh dear. Spanish, isn't it? You're allowed to, because he's from Barcelona, isn't he? Anyway, she sees the fella at the desk, and she's saying, I need to use your phone. And he's like, she speaks in Spanish and English, but he's like, just stares at her. And I think, is it this bit, or is it might be later on when Paul comes across him. Or it might be now, I'm not sure. I can't remember. Oh, she lights up a cigarette. It might be later when Paul's looking at him. I don't know if his eyes blink the wrong way, or if he's just, because he's not blinking, it makes Paul blink. But I don't know. But anyway, I missed it on my watch through earlier on. Anyway, they start struggling. She grabs the phone, they start struggling, and she starts running out. But then the priest is there, and then he grabs her. Hang on. He grabs her, and then the other fella grabs her. You notice his fingers are all weird. So they've got Barbara. So we know that there's something up. Right, this boat arrives at Howard's yacht. Is it? I don't know. I don't know what the definition is of it, but whatever. Arrive at Howard's vessel. And so he clambers on board and goes down. There's nobody there. They've disappeared. Oh, speaking of disappeared, no, it's his jumper, Miskatonic. So he's obviously been to the Miskatonic University, which is Lovecraft's fictional university that he has in a lot of his stories. In Arkham, is it Massachusetts? Is it Arkham, Massachusetts? Where Arkham from Batman got its name. It stole that from Lovecraft. Anyway, sees that they're not there, and he just finds like the towel that Vicky were in, but there's no sign of Vicky or Howard. So they go back, and then it's chucking it down now. He says, his friends, he's asking, your friends? And he says, no. So anyway, the priest now tells him that Barbara has gone to the next town, which is 50 kilometres away, which is about 30 miles, if you're Imperial. And she said, she tell you to go wait in the hotel. She'll be back in an hour. So she'll have to put her foot down, won't she? Anyway, so says fair enough. She come 1 hour. So off he goes there to the hotel. And he encounters the manager, concierge, whatever, night porter. And there we can see now he's looking. I never noticed this before when Barbara were there, but you can see he's got like barnacles or whatever on his head. And you can see there they look like gills, like shark gills, don't they? As you can see, basically the townspeople, which we'll learn later on, are starting to turn into fish-like creatures. Anyway, so is this the bit where the is it this bit? He's asking, he's not responding to. He's asking about stuff, and then he notices Barbara's lighter on the counter, so he knows she's been there. Right, this is it where he stares. Right, I want to watch it and I see what happens. What happens? Oh, nothing happens. Does it? No, I think it's just because he's stared and it makes him blink. I thought maybe he's had weird eyelids or something. I wonder if they were supposed to, they just either couldn't afford it or they couldn't work out how to do it. But anyway, so he starts blinking. Oh, I forgot to mention as well. Oh. If you notice earlier on, what are we on? Where are we? 26:34. Earlier on in the film, see if I can find it. I forgot to mention it earlier on. When he goes up on deck, right, here we go. When he goes up on deck, Paul, you'll notice he's got these bruises. He's got them on both sides of his abdomen. So that is a plot point. And when I was watching it, I thought, yes, that's good, is that? That's a nice attention to detail. I think we see him a couple of times. I forgot what I said I were up to. What did I say? 20-something. I've forgotten where I said I were now. 26? Yes. Oh, that was a good guess, wasn't it? Anyway, as I said, you notice he's got these bruises on his abdomen. 3 on each side, which we'll get to later. Right. There he's staring at him. Anyway, so he says, can I have a room? Because he knows, he thinks Barbara's coming back in an hour. So he says, well, can I have a room then? And he's not reacting. Eventually, he gives him a key. So he goes up to upstairs. So anyway, off he goes upstairs. This hotel's not the best hotel. I don't know how many Michelin stars it's got or whatever they give hotels. But I imagine it's not many. There he goes in, and everything in the room, it's all mouldy and just water everywhere. It's raining in the window, and it's just, the electricity doesn't work, thank goodness, because it's raining in. So it's pretty bad. There you go, this is the toilet. Looks like my bathroom, to be honest. Oh dear. Smelly water comes out of the thing, so he's fed up and he goes to check the bed, and we see that I don't know, somebody died in that bed or what, I don't know, but anyway, the phone doesn't work, so he just goes and sits down in the chair. So he's going around checking everything's filthy, and he just actually plonked down in the chair. Anyway, and then he looks round, and then he sees. He gets out. Is it the lighter? Yes, it gets out Barbara's lighter. But then, as he's looking at that, somebody walks past him. Here in a minute. Somebody walks past. There we go. And looks up, and he thinks it's Barbara. He says, "Oh, Barbara, is that you?" Anyway, so he gets up to see her, lightning. And he turns round. It's not Barbara. Oh, for God's sake! It's not Barbara. It's, there we go, her from his dream, but then she gets tentacles out of her mouth, CG tentacles, cool, and then he wakes up and nodded off in the chair. Anyway, so he goes out, he hears this noise from outside, and sees all the local well, not all of them, but a lot of them, the townspeople, they're gathering outside the hotel. You can see they've got webbed hands and stuff. They all point up at him, and he's thinking, they're going to get me, which essentially they are. And he can't lock his door for some. He's got a key, but he mustn't be able to lock it with the key. I don't know, but there's no bolt there. But there's one on the bathroom door. So he goes. He's like using his. We see he's got like a Swiss Army knife, so he starts using that to undo the screws on the lock there, the bolt. So he's doing it while they're obviously shuffling upstairs really slowly, because the townspeople, because they're all turning into weird fish creatures, they're not quick, and they're not super strong. They're reasonably strong, but they're not like super powered or anything. But they like shuffle and limp and stuff like that, because they're all weird. Anyway, so he's trying to get this. So he gets it on just in time as they start banging on the door. And then, for some reason, he just goes, can I... They stop banging on the door. And then he goes, can I help you? And then they start banging on the door again. I thought, well, why did you just not make any noise whatsoever, you stupid man? Anyway, so he goes in. He goes to look out, see if he can jump out of the window, but it's a long drop. So he goes into the bathroom. He sees there's another door, so it must be a shared bathroom with another room, I'm guessing. but that's locked. But he breaks through. But they get into the townspeople. So he pulls a wardrobe or whatever in front of one door, then he's holding the other door. But they get in. They get in. Here we go. They're coming after him, looking there with their weird googly fish eyes and stuff. So he just jumps out of the window anyway. Hey, down he goes. There we go, through glass, and he lands, but he's fine. But I think he has a limp from now on, at least for a bit anyway. He has a limp, and he uses that in a bit. But never mind. Right, so where he is in some sort of abattoir or something, because he finds pig heads. I'm going to show it. There we go. Finds pig heads hung up there, and other things. Let's make sure we're still going. Yeah. What's over on Rumble? For some reason, somebody said something nasty. I don't know why. Or maybe they're not talking about me. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, they probably are. Anyway, whatever. It's Rumble. Right, where were we? He sees these pig heads, so off he goes, and trying to find a way out. But all the townspeople are still coming in to get him. He sees a car arrive, and the person in this car is Xavier. I can never remember the bloody name. Xavier Cambaro, who's like the head of the town. This is his car, so he's like the boss, and he's got the only car in town. Anyway, so they're coming to get him. So he hides, and this is where he finds Howard. He finds all these, obviously, human skin. They've been, skinning people alive. Yes, alive, but we don't know that yet. They've been skinning people, and this is where he finds. There we go. He finds Howard. What's left of Howard? We won't linger on that because YouTube will play pop. Anyway, they get in, and he's like hiding from him, and then he sees inflammable. And is it weird? I saw this was mentioned yesterday in English. Why does flammable and inflammable mean the same thing? Don't know, but it just does. Anyway, he sees that barrel with that on, and he sets fire to the place. There we go. To try and escape, and he does. He escapes because they're all running out. As the fire's catching, all the other people start grabbing these frames that have got skin hung on them, presumably to dry out or whatever, like leather. So he grabs one and gets out that way. Uses that to make his escape, limping away. So he hides away in the town. Then he comes across this fella, turns a corner, and he's there. And this is I forgot his buddy. Is it Ezekiel? Yes, Ezekiel with a Q. Ezekiel, played by Francisco Rabal. As I said, his last film. He died before the film came out. And he doesn't look well in this film, to be completely honest. But he's got an amazing voice. He has an amazing voice. Anyway, comes across him, and Ezekiel is the last human in the village, but they don't get him for some reason because I don't know, he drinks or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, he grabs hold of him and they go and hide while this thing scoots past. It looks like Eddie Murphy at the beginning of Trading Places. There he goes, he's coming on. He's got a little trolley that he's scooting about on. Anyway, so now we have a bit of exposition from Ezekiel, where he tells him the whole story. No, they were saying they will kill you. Let's listen to his voice. He has got an amazing voice. Let's go back a bit. There we go. Let me unmute it.
They face his face. They kill you. Take your face.
They kill you. Take your face. Cool voice. Anyway, so he starts telling him all about it. And he tells them that both the women from the boat have been killed. He says he saw them do it. Spoilers, later on we learn that's not true. I don't know why he said that. He doesn't really explain it, but never mind. And then he starts telling the his tail. Like I say, he doesn't look well, does he? Right, so he's unhappy about that. There was no one leave Imboka. Right, so there you go, telling the secret of Imboka. So we're going to get a flashback story now. Here we go, about when Ezekiel was a young boy. And when the town used to be, a very Christian town, because it's in Spain, isn't it? So there we go. There we go. I am boy. So there we go. So there was a fishing village. They used to catch fish, but then for some reason the fish stopped. And just as he says that, it shows him holding a fish, but then he says, "But no fish in ocean." But I think he's got one in his hand. I'm guessing it means not as many fish. They caught not as many fish, but so that the village, were in trouble. They're praying to God, but God didn't help them or anything like that. And then a man came to the village. There we go, Captain. I forgot the name. Cambaro. Yes, I remembered Captain Cambaro. Who brings? Says he's been to the Pacific Ocean, which is where in Lovecraft. The Pacific and is where like Cthulhu lives and all that. That's where all that stuff happens in the Pacific Ocean, doesn't it? So it talks about Mu and Lemuria or whatever, these lost continents that were in the Pacific, weren't they? Or generally in that area. But anyway, he's talking about the god Dagon. It says if they worship Dagon, he will bring gold and fish and wealth to the village again, but they ignore. They throw him out. So he goes to the rocks, presumably with his crew or followers. Well, me, I don't know, but they go to the rocks and they do a chant, and he starts waving that thing about. I think this is where he does the Cthulhu chant. Yeah, Cthulhu Fatag. They might say it in the subtitles in a minute. But he don't call Cthulhu, it's Dagon that comes. But something big comes, but it don't show it. We just get its POV. Is it going to... Hang on. Right, here the first time. There we go. Ia. Cthulhu Fatang. I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyway. So that's the first time he hears that, but we hear it a few times in this film. And something comes out of the sea, and there we go. You've seen it from its point of view. So something big rises up. I'm guessing with lots of tentacles. We see it at the end of the film, and it's supposed to be Dagon. Right, but after he does that, all the fish come back and gold, lots of gold. Why? Don't know. It just does. And the village becomes rich, but Ezekiel's parents. This is Ezekiel's mother and father. They reject the gold. Young Ezekiel there gives him this gold is found, and he throws it away. They don't want this unholy stuff. So anyway, but the rest of the village, people go against God, and they start smashing the church up. Here we go. The priest tries to stop them, and Captain Cambaro kills the priest, and the rest of the town smash the church up. This is actually a church. And I've got a bit of trivia, if I can find it. Here we go. For the scene in which a mob of Dagon's followers storms a church and hammers it into desecration, director Stuart Gordon was concerned that he wouldn't find extras in Combaro willing to sully altars and stone holy images. However, the Galicians remembered how, during the Spanish Civil War, the Republicans burned churches in retaliation for the Vatican's support for the Francoist coup. So the extras were delighted to desecrate the false church to the point where they asked to repeat the scene with the spare props. So they wanted to do it twice. There we go. Anyway, so there we go. There, so they smashed the church up and replaced the crosses and stuff and crucifixes with the Dagon symbol. All in Boca, pray to Dagon. And he's even got some gaudy clobber to wear. But there we go. But one day, no more gold, and Dagon wants a sacrifice. That's what they always said, don't they? These priests that get into power. So they sacrifice Ezekiel's parents, because I think they're the only ones left in town that are standing up against, the cult. So there we go. They kill his father, slit his throat, and they drag his mother off, probably to do not nice things with her. And Ezekiel, basically, as a kid, is forced to worship Dagon. There we go. So that's the end of his tale. He says, I tell you it's true. And he says, why didn't they kill you? And he says, because he drinks. There we go, I drink. So maybe alcohol is their Achilles heel. But it's like that Irish film, innit? I forgot what they call it. Where like creatures come from the sea. The only way to not get possessed by them or whatever, or attacked by them, is to get rolling drunk. But anyway, right, so he says he needs a car to get out of town. Remember, he thinks everybody that's with him, that was with him, is now dead, so he needs a car. And this is where he tells him that, at first he says there's no car, then he says, I saw one earlier. It says, oh, that belongs to, Xavier Cambaro. Only coche in Imboca. So anyway, he helps him. There's Ezekiel, because he's a goodie, is Ezekiel. He goes and causes a distraction. And we see in this part, actually, that Paul starts to grimace as though he's in pain. He clutches his sides. Remember earlier on we said we saw them marks on his abdomen. He starts clutching his side. And as he does that, Ezekiel runs off. And at first he thinks Ezekiel's just abandoned him. But it's not. It's causing a distraction. But anyway, there we go. There we're seeing that's Xavier Cambaro. We see he's on crutches and stuff. And we see why later on. He could go to the sea now, we're told, but he wants to stay in the village. Anyway, there you go. Changing into creatures that live in the sea. Anyway, there you go. Xavier can go into the sea. What is it? But he's staying in Book because he's in charge. Anyway, right. So he goes and causes this distraction, and there you go. And Paul, is it here? He clutched his sides as though he were in pain. So he goes to the car and tries to hotwire it, but instead of starting the car, he hotwires the horn. And that's always beep. So they see him. And so he runs into the house, and he runs upstairs, and they're searching for him. So he ducks into a room, and guess who he sees? Dun dun dun! It's Uxia, the girl of his dreams, and apparently she's been dreaming about him as well. So like they say, "Oh look, I dreamed about you." She says, "I know," and by the way, somebody comes in. I think it might be her dad, actually. Not her dad. Well, it is her dad. I think it might be Xavier, but we don't get a good look at him. We just got a little glimpse through the door, if it shows it. There we go. A little glimpse through the door of a strange face. Anyway, so I think she's saying, we don't know what she's saying because it's all in Spanish. I think she's saying, I've not seen anybody now, leave me alone, or whatever. Anyway, so he goes over to her, and she wants to seduce him, and he says, I can't, and so I've got to be quick here, because there's a bit of nudity again. But anyway, starts kissing, but then he feels, oh God, you see that was close. He feels like she's got gills on her torso. He's like, what's going on? And then he pulls back, there we go, the thing says, she's got tentacles. And she's saying, stay, and he says, no, what's going on? So he runs off. Right. And he comes to the door. This is Xavier's driver. So he has a fight with him. There we go. Bit of a fight, and he beats him up with his mobile phone, his cell phone. There we go. Gets his cell phone out and clobbers him and says, "I need a bigger cell phone." Right. Another bit of trivia coming up. If I can find it. Right. Brian Usner, one of the producers, was in his car once with his wife, Kathy, and they were stopped by a gunman. Although terrified, Usner grabbed the gun and started smacking the guy with it. They ended up fighting, and Kathy started hitting the gunman with her cell phone to get him off Brian. She said, "I've got to get a bigger cell phone, hence the use of the line in the film, which the filmmakers felt was representative of heroics of ordinary people." If you say so, mate. But anyway, he needs a bigger cell phone. But it worked. It got him off him. And he gets in the car. By the way, he grabs the keys. The driver obviously has the keys. So he grabs the keys and he starts the car. Even though he's ripped all the wiring out, he must fix it. I don't know. But anyway. Or maybe just the horn doesn't work anymore. I don't know. But he starts the car and drives off. And there we go. All the local people are jumping on the car and he's running them over. There we go, like that. Whee. Anyway. But obviously, it all goes wrong and he crashes the car and it won't start. He's actually run somebody over. I don't know if I actually saw it. Somebody ends up stuck under the car. It doesn't show it. No, he just crashes the car, and it stops working. It won't go forward, and it's because there's somebody under the car that grabs hold of him. He thinks it's just something wrapped round, but a hand appears. There we go, and grabs hold of him. So he's obviously run somebody over that's hanging under the car. And another fella appears behind him. So he beats them both with the hubcap. And runs off. There we go. And ends up at this house, this little house. And he goes in there, and it's all flooded. And he gets in through the window, and he sees that it's all flooded inside. Like everywhere else in Brock. I can never remember the name of this bloody town. Anyway, I see he's a frog. Or is it a toad? Don't know. And a kid appears and starts saying, "Look," I'm presumably saying, "He's in here, this kid." It looks like a normal kid. And then when we see the kid's dad, there we go, he arrives. And I think this might be Richard Stanley, but I'm not sure. There's a director, South African director called Richard Stanley. What films has he done? He started doing the Island of Dr. Moreau. What else has he done? He's done some films I've seen, I can't bloody remember. Island of Dr. Moreau, he was the writer on that. He was going to be the director, but left. Come on, director, what have he directed? Right, director, right, what's he done? Did he do Hardware? Was that Richard Stanley? Or am I thinking of somebody else? No, it wasn't. Oh, yes, it was, yes. Oh, he wrote Hardware, didn't direct it. Well, I've clicked on director. Why isn't it showing it? Maybe I unclicked director. I think I did, didn't I? Oh, dear. Try again. Yes, he was the director of Hardware, which is a decent film, which I haven't seen in a long time. That might be what I'm thinking of. He did a music video for Marillion in 1994. Crikey. Right, what else? And some other stuff. But they're the big films. Colour Out of Space. That's that Nicolas Cage film. That's a good film, is Colour Out of Space. Another Lovecraft adaptation. Anyway, I think that might be him, but I'm not sure, because it just says in the credits, Fish Monster. So I don't know if this is the Fish Monster. I don't know. Or maybe it's another one later. I don't know. But anyway. Sees him, so they have a fight, and he grabs hold of, because he's got tentacles for arms, and he grabs hold of Paul and dunks his head in the toilet. But he gets out. He takes the cover off the toilet, the cistern, and just smacks him over the head with it. And I think he's killed him, and he's saying, "Abbo, Abbo." I presume, does that mean father? I don't know, maybe. Anyway, so off he goes. And then he gets caught in a net. Yes, he runs outside and they throw a net on him and knock him out. Right, so he wakes up and Barbara's there and she's alive. Oh, so they kiss and he says, "Oh, I thought you were dead." And he says, "Look, got your lighter." And says, "It saved my life." And then Ezekiel's in there as well. And we also learn that Vicky's in there too. Son's one leg. She's upset. She's obviously freaking out. There you go. They've chopped her leg off, or something's happened, but to her leg. It's the one that were trapped by the rocks. So she said that something pulled her under the water and essentially violated her. That's what it said. So that's what she's saying. But they're trying to say, oh, we're only a hallucination. But anyway, so she says that she's got a baby in her, Dagon's baby essentially. She's carrying the son of Dagon. Anyway, so she's obviously, she's gone crazy with what happened to her. Anyway, the village people arrive next, but they don't. Giving it all that YMCA. No, the people of the village arrive. By the way, Barbara says to Paul, if what happens to Vicky happens to her, promise to kill me. And he says, ums and ahs. Right, the villagers are coming. She said, they take our skin, don't let them take me. Anyway, so even from the cover arrives. There he is. I don't know what voi porti cabron means, but a cabron is that like an idiot or something? I don't know, but I don't know. So they're fighting. Like I said, they get outside and all that stuff, but it doesn't go well. There we go. They end up losing, and but Vicky grabs a knife and kills herself. So she won't have that baby of Dagon. But anyway, right. So next up, they take Barbara away again. And he wakes up, there's Paul, and he's tied up, and Ezekiel's tied up, and they're going to make him watch while they skin Ezekiel alive. By the way, he says, I'll give you $1 million, $10 million if you let Barbara go. And they said, we have 1,000 times that in gold, we don't need it. So here he goes, he's going to start skinning. Doesn't look very sharp, that, does it? But anyway. It's sharp enough. That's going to be Ezekiel's fate. What fate, Ezekiel? Anyway, so there we go. But Ezekiel, he says, I'm sorry to Ezekiel, and he says, thank you to him. At least I'll die like a man, and you made me remember me, help me remember me mother and father. So anyway, and then he starts praying, doing the, what's the prayer? I can't believe it. The Valley of Death prayer. There you go. He leadeth me, all that stuff. How religious am I? But anyway, starts saying that. And it shows him cutting his skin off. They just rip his skin off. Quite gruesome, is this? I must admit. So I won't dwell on it. But they rip off Ezekiel's face essentially and part of his back. Obviously, the shock kills him because he just slumped over after that. But they were alive while they were doing it. There we go. And then they're going to do it the same to Paul. And they're just about to start. And then Uxia arrives in a wheelchair because she's got tentacles. But she's in a wheelchair. There you go. And she says, no, she speaks in Spanish to him. And I'm guessing she's saying, no, he's, important or whatever. He's got another destiny. Something along those lines. And he's, take him away or whatever. Prepare him for the something or other. There you go. And then she speaks to Paul and says, you will live because you are mine. Because they dreamed about each other. Anyway. And he's still wanting about Barbara. Will you let Barbara go? She basically says no. And I think, again, he says there's two possibilities. Something like that. There he says F Dagon, and Dagon needs her, and he says F Dagon, and she says, yes, that's exactly it. She will have Dagon's child. There we go. Anyway, and then he says, I've got no choice, have I? There we go. No end, no tomorrow, only the forever. Anyway. So he's no choice. So they take him away. There we go. I presume that means prepare him for the ceremony or something along them lines. So that's what they're going to do. But he fights back and kills them all. There we go. And he kills the priest as well. Rips his guts out. There we go. Gets him. So he's killed those, and he's gonna see lots of. For people that don't like burning things, they've got a lot of flammable materials about. So he grabs a thing full of flammable whatever oil, I'll say petrol, I don't know, and he heads to the church. There we go, because he discovers. He just heads to the church and he has a route about, and in this cupboard there's a stairway leading down. So down he goes, the stairway, into the tunnel. And there we go. I'm going to have to be careful here now. Because poor this actress. Where were we? I've got it here somewhere. Where have I seen it? I've seen it somewhere. Hang on. Might be down here. There we go. Raquel Maronio. Right. Asked if it was difficult to convince Raquel Maronio, who plays Barbara, that she was going to be shackled and dangled nude as part of her role, Stuart Gordon said she had never done a nude scene before. She's a big television star in Spain, so for her to do this was very brave and also very physically demanding. She's a really strong character and very much like the character she plays in the movie. Yes, so I'm going to have to be careful here because there's quite a lot of boobage going on. Anyway. Here she is. Uxie has been carving, Cthulhu-esque symbols into her, runes or whatever, into her flesh. And they're gonna, basically, she's tied to her thing, and they're gonna dangle her over a pit. So here we go. So, and by the way, and the rest of the town are there, wearing the dried out faces of their victims. Right, so off she goes. There we go, they're going to dangle her over the water. There she goes. Oh, I'm doing well here. By the way, Uxie has been carried about on a sedan, because remember, she's got tentacles, not legs. Anyway, and Barbara's blood's dripping down into the water, and then she does the Ia Cthulhu for the. There we go, we'll have a listen, eh? She didn't do it. Let's do it again. Or whatever. She says it again, and then she throws that in. She calls on Dagon, throws that in. Down it goes, into the water. What's she saying there? Can't remember. There we go. We will live for eternity, and so will your child. Anyway. Then they start lowering it. Ooh. Start lowering her down. But then Paul arrives with his can of petrol or whatever it is, gasoline, and he sets fire to everybody. Well, not everybody, but a few people there. So the people running about in flames, and the fella that were operating the winch to lower Barbara down slowly, suddenly it bursts into flames and he runs off, and so she starts going down quickly. She ends up in the water. So he stops it. He throws something in the cogs and starts hoisting her back up. Oh, crikey. Close, wasn't it? You can't see much, though. She's covered in that oily stuff. But anyway, up she comes. Oh, he says, I'm going to get you out of here. And she says, no, kill me, you promised. But he didn't. But never mind. And he says, no, I'm going to save you. But then something comes out of the water. We're going to see it. There we go. No, I'll get you out. But then, hang on, I've missed it. Let's go back again. I have to be careful here, aren't I? She looks down and screams. Something's grabbed her. There we go. There we see it there. Look, there we go. Tentacles come out of the water and grab her. I presume that's Dagon. I'm guessing that's Dagon. Grabs her. Oh, you can just see his teeth there. You can just make him out there, his teeth. I can't make out the rest. Let's go frame at a time. Apologies for the nudity. Anyway, so I'm guessing that's Dagon. So he grabs her, pulls her down, but her arms are still there, chained, because then we see. I forgot to mute it again. So I guess she won't be having Dagon's child anymore, because she's dead. Anyway, Dagon's probably just eaten. Anyway, so the ones that aren't burning, the Imbokans that aren't burning, grab hold of Paul, and they're going to start beating him up. But then Uxia arrives and tells him to stop. And then Xavier arrives. She got better. Her arms grew back. As tentacles, maybe. Anyway, Xavier arrives. And this is where we learn that Paul is Uxia's half-brother, that his father is Xavier Cambaro. I forgot the name of the bloody person. Cambaro. And what happened years ago, Paul's mother were brought to the village because apparently he used to be really handsome, did Xavier Cambaro, and he used to have lots of women brought into the village, and he'd have, relations with them. But Paul's mother escaped and went to America, and I presume that's where he was born, in America. But he's the son of Xavier Cambaro and her half-brother, but she still wants him to be her lover as well, because that's what she tells him. But this is where we get a look at what Xavier looks like now. She's telling him all that. He's going to take his mask off in a minute. You are my son. Hang on, he's going to take his mask off when he says it. There we go. You are my son. Look, he's all looks like Cthulhu, but he's not. But he just looks like him. Anyway, there we go. You're insane. This is where she says, "You're my brother." She calls him Pablo because that's Spanish for Paul, isn't it? You are my brother, and you should be my lover as well, something like that. But he decides he's going to end it all for himself, and he pours that's where she says it, look, we had children, hang on. We have different mothers, but the same father, whatever. Anyway, pours the petrol over himself, and sets fire to himself, and, before he does that, he bends over in pain again, clutching his sides. So something's changing. He says, "What's happening to me?" So he douses himself. No possibilities, he says. He said the two possibilities. No possibilities. And he immolates himself, but Uxia intervenes and grabs hold of him and pulls him into the water. There she goes, look, and pulls him into the water. So down they go, and they're there in the sea. There she is, and Paul's not looking well there, is he? Looking a bit crispy, deep fried Paul. But then we learn that he's got gills in his. Oh, hang on, I'll show it in a minute. He can breathe underwater. There we go. He's got gills, so he's like Kevin Costner in Waterworld, except his gills are there, not behind his ear. Anyway, so then he just seems he's fine with it now. Everything's okay, and he swims off with Uxia. And there we go. And they, just like in his dream, they swim into the Dagon pit or whatever it's supposed to be. So I wonder if that is really off the coast of Spain somewhere. Let's check on Google Earth. So anyway, so off they go. They're swimming away. There we go. It shows them there. Look, it's really them, with her tentacles behind her. And in they go, and then we get a Lovecraft quote. Here it comes in a minute. There we go. We shall dive down through black abysses, and in that lair of the deep ones we shall dwell amidst wonder and glory forever. H.P. Lovecraft. And then there's another bit there. Oh, no. I thought there was another quote. Maybe not. There we go, a film dedicated to the memory of Francisco Rabal, who played Ezekiel. And there we go, that's the end of the film. Cool film. I don't think there's anything else at the end. Shall we just double check? I didn't check when I watched it earlier. I just, hang on, I think that's it, isn't it? I think it's just ended. Yeah, that's it. Oh no, it hasn't. There we go. Go on, are you going to carry on? Never mind. No, it didn't there. For some reason it's not going further. Whatever. Anyway, that's the end of the film. It's a cool film. I like Dagon. I actually like it more than I thought I did, to be completely honest. to be completely honest. But like I say, I'm a Lovecraft fan. I can't say I've read all of his stuff, but what I have read, I've enjoyed. Oops, that's gone doolally, hasn't it? Get rid of that. What I've read, I've enjoyed, and I like the lore and the way that he speaks of his the old ones and all stuff like that. It's things beyond imagination, but you still got to use your imagination to try and picture them in your mind. But anyway, so that's it. That's it. The end of Dagon, and I really like that film. I think you should check it out. As I said, the CG and stuff is not the most amazing. It's kind of low budget. It might have been Stuart Gordon's last film. I'm not sure. I don't know. I might be wrong. I can't remember when he died. He passed away, didn't he, Stuart Gordon? Or 2020 when he passed away. So it probably wasn't his last film. Let's have a look. He's done a lot of writing. He's wrote a few things. But where's Dagon? Didn't show him Dagon for some reason in his IMDb. Get rid of that. Director. There it is, Dagon. Yes. No. What did he direct? King of the Ants. Edmund, Masters of. Oh, I did 2 episodes of Masters of Horror. Yeah, so he has done other stuff. Anyway, so there we go. But it were among his last. He didn't do a lot after this. And he passed away in 2020. Oh, he did Fortress. I didn't know that. That's that one with Christopher Lambert. Is it in space or is that Fortress 2? I think that's Fortress 2, isn't it? Oh, he did Robot Jocks. I didn't know he did Robot Jocks. I like that film. Anyway, whatever. Right, so that's it for Dagon. Give it a whirl. If you like Lovecraft, you'll like Dagon because it is the most Lovecrafty film I've seen. What's that film with Dean Stockwell in? I'll look it up because it's doing my head in. I need to check. It's like this classic horror film, and I forgot what the bloody call it. Dean Stockwell. The late Dean Stockwell. Right. See if it shows it there. The Dunwich Horror. That's it. The Dunwich Horror. That's the film. And in that, I've read the Dunwich Horror, and in that, the main person in it, the Dean Stockwell character, is kind of weird looking, because he's like from Innsmouth. There's something not quite right about him, but not in the film. It was just Dean Stockwell. So there you go. Anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. What's coming up next? What day are we on? Friday. So I might do a live news stream tomorrow. We'll see. Because things have happened today. Because I've been busy all day and I'm exhausted. I'm hungry. I could go for a nice Dunwich. Yes. It's like a brown sandwich. Made with brown bread. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, right, yes. I didn't get a chance to check for newsy things today in the geeky world, but apparently loads of stuff's been happening. The Ray movie has lost its writer, and there's something else as well. There's been some news, so I might do a live news stream tomorrow, or I just might do some news videos. We'll see. Anyway, on Monday, we're looking at, for Magnificent Mondays, we're looking at Pirates of the Caribbean. Where is it? Bloody Reflections. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, in keeping with spooky season, because there's, skeleton pirates and stuff in that, isn't there? So that's what's happening there. Then on... Now then. See Wingray saying, what happened? There's a Ray movie. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Then, hang on, I've lost me train of thought. Where were we? This week, if I'm remembering, why is that popped up? Come on, stop being stupid. What time? What day? Yes, this week. Yes, I'm trying to remember the date. It's the 25th, isn't it, today? So, right. On on Halloween night, on the 31st of October, I'm having a watch party. We're going to watch Halloween 2 from 1981. 1981, 1982. We'll have a watch party with that, which should be fun. And then next Friday's appointment with Fear is going to be another watch party, but Night of the Living Dead, the original Night of the Living Dead from 1968. So I'll just be playing that because it's copyright free. So fingers crossed, I can just play it. But I'll be in the corner talking and getting on everybody's nerves. So that'll be fun. So that's that. And I think that's all I've arranged. Yes, that's all I've arranged for now. So there we go. Right. We will leave it there. We will leave it there for this week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've forgotten. Let's have a look. Why? I got a delivery today, so this will be upcoming soon. Probably as a double bill, to be completely honest. Cocoon and Cocoon the Return on DVD. Because I thought I'm not paying like 50 quid or whatever for a Blu-ray of Cocoon by itself. But I saw this on eBay, double DVD. So we're doing that at some time, and also at some point we'll be doing that Clash of the Titans, Ray Harryhausen's last film. So there. Oh, yes. Oh, I can't get to them, they're under something. And some other stuff. So anyway, we'll leave it there. So thanks, Grace, for keeping me company while I waffle on about Dagon. It's been a quickie tonight, hasn't it, for some reason? Anyway, there you go. Never mind. Right. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, don't have nightmares. And until next time, I'll say the...